Hello and welcome to tonight's JV matchup between the Immanuel Lutheran Lancers and the Ellsworth Panthers. Taking the jump for today will be number 24, Logan Thompson, and number 35, Gavin Perman. Thompson with a jump, it goes into the hands of Brand. Pass down low and an easy bucket for number 15, Matzik. Some press early, gonna pass up the floor to Miller. Miller's gonna try to cut it back out up top. And gonna pass up top to Radical. Radical over to Thompson. Thompson's got it up top. Scanning the floor and sending it over to Cornish. Cornish back up top to Thompson. Thompson over to Miller. Miller back up top to Thompson. Thompson gonna drive around. Gonna send it back up top to Miller. Miller over to Thompson. Thompson fakes. Gonna pass over to Miller. Miller back over to Cornish. Cornish down low to Radical. Tipped around, and Radical comes up with it. Gonna pass back up top to Miller. Miller over to Thompson. Thompson takes a three. And bounced the side of the rim. Tipped in off of Radical and out of bounds. Pass into Stoltenberg. And he'll take it up the floor. Gets a screen. And gonna take a three. And bounce off the inside of the rim. Rebounded by Matzik. And that'll be a foul on him. Ellsworth backs off on the press. Thompson will pass into Radical, and he'll take it up the floor. Sends it over to Thompson. Thompson gonna drive around. Gonna stop and pass back out to Cornish. Cornish over to Leduc. Leduc over to Radical. Radical back up top to Thompson. Thompson scanning, gonna try to drive around. Gets a screen by Miller. Gonna drive all the way in. Forced to pass back out to Miller. Miller back over to Cornish. Cornish up top to Thompson. Thompson fakes. Gonna drive around. Pull up a jumper. And he's got it. Ties up the game at 2 apiece with 14:20 left. Stoltenberg up top. Gonna drive around and pass over to number 10, Coulson. Coulson sends it over to Matzik. He puts up a three, and too hard. Rebounded by Thompson, and he'll take it up the floor. Sends it over to Radical. Radical back up top to Thompson. Thompson gonna try to drive inside, cut back out. Pass over to Radical. Radical thinks about three, gonna drive inside, Sag with the layup, and he's got it in one. Good shot by Radical, and a chance to extend the lead to 3. Radical's first and only. Will fall. Gives the Lancers a 5-2 lead, up by 3 with 13:40 left. Pass into Stoltenberg, and he'll take it up the floor. Gets a screen. Gonna send it over to Perman. And foul on the Lancers. Stoltenberg will pass it in down low. Gonna pass into Brand. Brand up top to Matzik. Over to Coulson. Coulson down low to Brand. Bringing the pass back out to Coulson. Coulson fakes a three, gonna drive inside, put up a jumper, and off the crack of the rim. Sent back out to Matzik. Over to Stoltenberg. Stoltenberg's gonna drive around. Sent out to Matzik. Matzik takes a three. He's got it. Ties up the game at 5 apiece. Some press. Pass over to Cornish. Cornish up top to Radical. Radical cuts back out. Gonna send it over to Thompson. Thompson gonna drive around and toss it out to Miller. Back over to Thompson. Thompson drives in. Sends it into the hands of Strand. Up to Stoltenberg. Stoltenberg's going up the floor. Sends it over to Matzik. He takes another three. This one bounces out. Rebounded by Perham. Back over to Matzik. Over to Stoltenberg. Gonna try to drive the baseline. Gonna pass it out. Picked up by Brand. Over to Matzik. Matzik puts up a jumper. And off the corner of the rim. Tipped around. Back in the hands of Matzik. Sends it over to Colson. Over to Stoltenberg. Down low to Strand. Trips and travels. Keeney will enter for Radical. And number 20, Horseman will enter for Brand. Pass into Keeney, and he'll take it up the floor. Gonna pass it over to Cornish. Cornish over to Thompson. Thompson gonna drive inside, put up a jumper, and rims out. Rebounded by Miller. Miller stuck in the corner and is fouled. Thompson will pass it in down low. Gets it into Cornish. Cornish up top to Keeney. Keeney sends over to Cornish. Cornish down low to Thompson. Thompson back up top to Leduc. Luke's gonna drive in. Fakes, sends it back out to Thompson. Thompson fakes, gonna drive inside, and is fouled. Bauer will enter for Miller, and Falkenberg enters for Leduc. Thompson again passing in down low. Gets it into Falkenberg. Sends it down low to Cornish. Cornish drives outside. Pass over to Falkenberg. Down low to Bauer. Bauer loses it. And on the ground. And a travel on Matzik. Cornish will pass it in down low for the Lancers. And Eichstead will enter for Cornish, so Eichstead will pass it in down low. Sends it over to Bauer. Bauer puts up immediately, and he's got it. Gives the Lancers a 7-5 lead with 11 minutes left. Stoltenberg up top. Sends it over to Hornstrom. He's got it. Puts it up, and can't get it to fall. Rebounded by Falkenberg. Sends it over to Thompson. He'll take it up the floor. Gonna drive around up top. Drive around, and send it over to Falkenberg. Over to Eichstead. Eichstead pass over to Thompson. Sends it over to Falkenberg. Fakes. Gonna drive in. Put it up, and he's got it. Sends the Lancer lead to 4, 9-5 with 10:20 left. Stoltenberg up top. Gets the screen. Gonna drive around, pass down low to Brand. Puts it up, and he's got it off the glass. So that's Perman. Tom's passing down low. Lots of press over to Falkenberg. Over to Bauer. And it's gonna be a turnover. Number 30, Mayer, enters for Perman. And Horseman will pass it in. Stoltenberg up top. Gonna drive inside. Fakes. Gonna pass out to Johnson. Johnson with a three, and he's got it. Passing to Eichstead. Eichstead up to Keeney. Keeney's gonna drive down all the way, and can't get it off the glass. Rebounded by Bauer, and is fouled. Thompson will pass it in down low. Lancers trail by 1, 10-9. Gets it into Keeney. Down low to Falkenberg. Puts it up and too hard. Send over to Stoltenberg and he'll take it up the floor. Down low, fakes. Gonna pass over and an easy bucket for number 30 Mayer. More press by the Panthers. Sends it into Bauer. Up top to Thompson. He's gonna send it over to Eichstead. Eichstead gonna drive in, pass down low, too hard and too far. Pass it into Stoltenberg and he'll take it up the floor. Gonna drive around. And send it up top to Matzik. Sends it over to Stoltenberg. Gonna drive around, make a move, put up a jumper, and too hard. Rebounded by Thompson. Come up by the Lancers. Panthers lead by 3, 12-9 with 8:45 left in the first half. With 8:45 left in the first half, Lancer ball trailing by 3 with 8:45 left. Thompson's got it up top. Sends it over to Miller. Miller fakes down low. Gonna pass up top to Thompson. Thompson gonna drive around. Scanning. Take right up top and pass over to Keeney. Keeney over to Miller. Miller sends over to Thompson. Thompson drives down. Cutbacks out. And pass over to Keeney. Keeney's going to drive in, pass out to Miller. Miller drives around. Sends it over to Thompson. Thompson now to Falkenberg. Over to Miller. Miller puts up a jumper and too short. Tipped around and picked up by Thompson. Lost it and went off of Thompson last. It's going to be Panther ball. Pass into Stoltenberg, and he will take up the floor. Pass over to Matzik. Gonna drive inside. Puts it up and gets blocked. Sends it out into the hands of Miller. Miller's gonna push the floor. Goes inside and pass out to Keeney. Keeney forced to cut back out. Gonna dribble back out up top, go all the way around. And gets stripped by Matzik. He's got a 2-on-2. Fakes again, and puts it up, and he's got the easy jumper. 14-9, a 5-point lead. More pressed by the Panthers. Thompson gonna send it into Keeney. Keeney stuck, and jump ball. Leduc and Radical will enter for Keeney and Bauer, and Thompson will pass it in from the low corner. Gets into Radical. Radical up top to Miller. Miller scanning. Gonna put up a jumper. And got it off the glass. Cuts the lead down to 3, 14-11 with 7 minutes left. Stoltenberg's got it up top. Sends it over to Johnson. Johnson a 3. Clanks off the side. Thompson takes up the floor. Gonna drive around, gets a nice move. Makes another nice move, gonna pass along to Radical. Tipped around in the hands of Falkenberg. Falkenberg gonna drive in. And offensive foul. Horstman will pass it in to Stoltenberg. Stoltenberg gets a screen, takes a three, gonna pass it over to Horstman. He's gonna drive around. Pass down low, puts it up, and he's got it. That's Perman. Radical over to Thompson, they go quick. Still pressed by the Panthers. Thompson drives around, stops, passes up top to Miller. Miller fumbles with it and picked up by Perman. Perman's going in, gonna pass up top, over to Stolzman. Sends it over to Horstman. Over to Johnson. Johnson over Stoltenberg. Down low, and Perman gets the end one. Colson will enter for Stoltenberg. And Perman will shoot two. Sorry, shoot one. Bounces around and in. Gives the Panthers an 8-point lead, 19-11. Pass on to Radical. Over to Miller. Press backs off and Miller takes up the floor. Sends it into Falkenberg. Over to Miller. Miller up top to Thompson. Thompson over to Miller. Miller thinks with a three, doesn't take it. Up to Thompson. Over to Radical. Radical over to Miller. Miller over to Radical. Radical over to Thompson. Thompson takes three, gonna drive in. Up to Radical. Radical drives around, sends over to Miller. Miller up to Radical. Over to Thompson. Thompson drives. Cuts back out, pass over to Radical. Radical over to Miller. Miller down low to Leduc. Leduc puts it up. Can't get it off the glass. Tipped around and foul on Leduc. Passes it into Colson, and he will take up the floor. Sends it over to Matzek, down low to Perman. Perman puts it up, and he's got the easy layup. Now a 10-point lead for the for the Panthers, 21-11. Radical pushes it over to Leduc. Leduc puts it up, and he's got it. Cuts the lead back to 8. Colson gonna push it. Drives around, and gonna have to pass it back out to Horstman. Over to Matzek. Matzek drives, fakes, and gonna send it back out to Horstman. Over to Mayer. Mayer down low to Perman. Perman puts it up, and he's got it. Miller into Radical. Radical's pass picked off by Mayer. Mayer down low, tipped, pass back up, tipped around, and picked up by Thompson. And timeout by the Lancers. Lancers trail by 10, 23-13 with 4:03 left in the first half. Radical will pass it in down low for the Lancers. Press for the Panthers. Into Thompson. Thompson drives around. Gonna send it up to Miller. Miller all the way, and gets to Leduc. Leduc up top to Radical. Radical over to Thompson. Thompson over to Radical. Radical takes a three. And clanks off the side. Sends it up to Stoltenberg. Stoltenberg puts up a three. Can't get it off the back of the rim. Dipped around and into the hands of Cornish. Cornish drives around. Gets stuck in the corner. Going to pass over to Radical. Radical take up the floor. Press backs off. Sends it over to Miller. Miller fakes over to Thompson. Back over to Miller. Gonna drive up top. Pass over to Thompson. Thompson puts up a three. And off the side. Tipped around and Cornish stepped out before he could move it back in. Pass up to Stoltenberg. And he'll take up the floor. Gonna drive around. Pass over. Gets over to Colston. Sends over to Stoltenberg. Up top to Matzik. Sends over to Mayer. Over to Colston. Colston now loaded up Perman and tipped out of bounds. Radical pass in. Gets it into Thompson. Press hurries. Thompson. Up top to Cornish. Cornish posts it. Up to Miller. Miller the easy layup and bounces out. Pick up by Miller again and he gets it out of the reverse. Stoltenberg's gonna drive in. Puts it up. Gets blocked. Tipped around into the hands of Thompson. Thompson waits for everyone to back off and takes up the floor. Long pass to Radical. Radical up top to Miller. Gonna drive around. Up top to Leduc. Over to Thompson. Sends over to Radical. Down low to Leduc. Leduc puts it up. And bounces out. Picked up by Stoltenberg. He's going to push it. Pass out to Matzik. Matzik takes a three. And off the bottom of the rim. Rebounded by Radical. Over to Miller. Miller up top to Cornish. Wasn't ready for it. And slowly bounces out of bounds. Brand will enter for Perman. And Johnson will enter for Matzik. Keeney enters for Thompson and Falkenberg enters for Leduc. Passed in by Mayer. Gets it into Stoltenberg. Stoltenberg up top. Sends it down low. And tipped off the hands of Brandon out of bounds. Eichstead enters for Miller. And Radical passes it in down low. Press by the Panthers with 1:36 left and an 8-point lead for them, 23-15. Gets into Keeney. Keeney stuck and fouled. Lead is 6 on the Panthers. And Radical will pass it in. Into Eichstead. Eichstead stuck and a pass over to Cornish. Over to Radical. Press backs off. Radical pings it up the floor. Gets over to Keeney. Up top to Radical. Down low to Falkenberg. He puts it up and off the rim. Puts it up again. And this time he's got it. Pass into Stoltenberg. Sends it over to Johnson. Up top to Colson. Over to Stoltenberg. And Stoltenberg dribbles it out of bounds. Bauer enters for Radical. And he'll pass it from the corner. Sends it into Eichstead. Eichstead up top to Falkenberg. Up top to Keeney. Keeney makes a move. Drives around. Puts it up. And he's got it off the glass. Cuts the Panther lead to 4. 23-19 with 48 seconds left. Stoltenberg up top. Colson with a 3 and tips off the side. Picked up by Stoltenberg. Out to Mayer. Mayer takes a 3. His bounces around and in. Falkenberg will pass it in down low. Gets in the Cornish. Cornish finds a seam. Up top to Keeney. Pass tipped. Keating gets it back, and out of bounds off of him. Couldn't handle it, slipped out of bounds. 26-19, a 7-point lead for the Panthers with 21.6 seconds left. Passes it into Stoltenberg, and he'll take up the floor. Time ticking down from 17. Now at 10. Panthers want the last shot here. 7 seconds left, he goes. Gonna drive around, pass over to Colson, bounces off the side, tipped, picked up by Colson, put it back up, and he's got it as the buzzer sounds. That was Johnson who shot the 3, not Colson. Colson got the rebound and got the buzzer beater. 28-19, a 9-point lead for the Panthers going into halftime. Hello and welcome back to Immanuel Lancers versus the Ellsworth Panthers. We have an update from the girls JV game, which is streamed by Leave a Strum. JV girls Lancers are currently winning by 13, 20-7 at halftime. We'll keep giving you updates during the timeouts and breaks. It'll be Panther ball down in the corner and pass into Stoltenberg. Stoltenberg drives around, gonna pass up to number 13. Pass it low to Perm. Perm will put it up, and he's got the bucket. Radical's got it, gonna drive with the floor. Nearly gets stripped. Gonna pass over to Cornish. Cornish up top to Radical. Radical over to Keeney. Keeney back over to Radical. Radical down below to Leduc. Leduc puts it up. And off the front of the rim, rebounded by Miller. Miller puts it up. Off the front of the rim, rebounded by Radical. Radical puts it up. He can't get to the ball. Gets it again. He puts it back up again. And this time he's fouled. Radical will shoot 2 at the line. And his first rim's out. Horseman will enter for number 10, Colson. And Radical will shoot his second. This one won't fall as well. And into the hands of Brand. Pass with the floor to Stoltenberg. Sends it over to Mayer. Mayer puts up a 3. Bounce off the bottom of the rim. Top of the rim. Radical Scott is going to push it up the floor. Pass it low to Miller. Miller going to pass down low. Tipped around. And in the hands of Stoltenberg. Stoltenberg passes it up to Brand. Back to Stoltenberg. And Stoltenberg will take up the floor. Down low to Perm. And he's got the layup. A 13-point lead for the Lancers. Sorry, for the Panthers. Pass up to Cornish. Cornish up to Keeney. Keeney's going to set up to Miller. Miller to Radical. Radical up top to Keeney. Keeney over to Miller. Miller going to pass over to Keeney. Keeney over to Radical. Down low to Cornish. Cornish puts up a jumper. Bounces out. And jump ball. Radical's going to pass it in down low. Sends it up top to Keeney. Keeney looking around. Gonna send it over to Radical. Radical going to pass over to Leduc. Over to Cornish. Cornish is top to Radical. Radical is fouled. Radical will pass in from the corner. Gets it into Cornish. Cornish over to Radical. Radical down low to Luke. Luke puts up a jumper, and he's got it. Cuts the lead back to 11. Stoltenberg will push it up the floor. Sends it up to Mayer. Mayer over to Stoltenberg. Stoltenberg puts up a jumper. Bounces out, and picked up by Cornish. Cornish over to Keeney. Keeney gonna push the floor. Gonna drive all the way in and slips. And that's gonna be a travel. Stoltenberg bringing up the floor. Gonna send it over to Gipford. Mayer over to Brand, over to Stoltenberg. Gonna put up a 3. Bounce off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Gipford. Sends it over to Stoltenberg. Stoltenberg drives down, gonna pass down low, and in the hands of Miller. Miller will drive around and take up the floor. Sends over to Cornish. Cornish getting the floor, gonna pass on to Radical. Radical drives in. Pass over to Leduc. Leduc drives in. Fakes, pass over to Radical. Gonna drive around, pass up top to Miller. Miller scanning. Gonna pass it over to Cornish. Cornish on the corner. Gets stripped and picked up by Stoltenberg. Stoltenberg's got it in the corner. Gonna pass it over to Gifford. Over to Mayer. Over to Brand. Over to Stoltenberg. Stoltenberg gonna drive in. Gonna pass out to Brand. Over to Gifford. Puts up a three. And off the bottom of the rim. Middle of the rim. Radical will take up the floor. Gonna send it over to Cornish. Cornish to Miller. Tipped. And into the hands of Perham. Stoltenberg's got it. Puts up a three. Off the bottom of the rim. Radical's got it. Gonna bring up the floor. Sends it over to Cornish. Cornish over to Falkenberg. Falkenberg puts up a jumper. He's got it. Cuts the lead to 9. Stoltenberg up the floor. Sends over to Gifford. Gonna drive down in. And send it out to Mayer. Over to Stoltenberg. Someone gonna pass down low to Perford. Perman puts it up and bounces out. Radical's got it. Radical up top. Gonna drive around, gets a screen. Goes in, passes out to Falkenberg. Falkenberg drives down, puts it up, and can't get the reverse layup. Pass over to Stoltenberg. Stoltenberg pushes up the floor. Pass over to Mayer. Mayer gonna drive inside, put up a jumper, and can't get off the rim. Radical's got to get a push it. Sends over to Falkenberg. Gonna drive down in. Out to Leduc. Leduc over to Falkenberg. Down low to Miller. Miller puts it up and it's fouled. And Miller will shoot 2. His first will bounce out. Bauer and Eichstätt will enter, as will Coulson, Johnson, and Horstrom. And Miller will shoot his second. And this one bounced out as well. Picked up by Falkenberg. Tipped around and into the hands of Miller. Miller's got it up top. Sends it over to Radical. Radical down low to Falkenberg and is stripped. Picked up by Horstrom. In the hands of Coulson. Coulson over to Gifford. Sends up top to Johnson. Johnson a 3. Rims out. Tipped and in the hands of Eichstätt. And he will be jump ball. And that's going to stay with the Panthers. Brand will enter for Perman. And Horseman will pass it in down low. Gets it into Johnson. Johnson going to send it over to Gifford. Over to Coulson. Coulson up to Johnson. Sends it all the way over to Gifford. Going to drive in. Fakes. Pass down low. Rolls out and into the hands of Hortman. He's got it back. Send it up top to Gifford. Gifford takes a 3. And bounce off the side of the rim. Picked up by Horseman. Back over to Gifford. Sends it all the way over to Coulson. Coulson takes a 3. And off the backboard. And that'll be out of bounds. And Panthers will press. Keeney enters for Titus. Radical. And Miller will pass it in. Gets it into Keeney. Keeney over to Miller. Miller going to drive around. Tries to go through and gets stripped by Gifford. Pass over to Coulson. Back up to Gifford. He's going to take a 3. And bounce off the rim. Picked up by Eichstead is stripped by Johnson. Johnson over to Colson. Colson drives around. Spins it up top to Horstman. Over to Gifford. He's going to drive around. Pass it to Johnson. Johnson fakes. Sends it all the way over to Horstman. And picked off by Falkenberg. Falkenberg's going to push it. Goes all the way, and he's got it off the glass. Cuts the lead down to 7 with 8:51 left. Picked up by Gifford. Sends it over to... Doesn't matter because it's a foul on Brand. Koenig will enter for Eichstead. And Koenig will pass it in down low. Gets it into Miller. Miller stuck and is fouled. Koenig will pass it in down low. Pressure by Panthers. Radical enters for Miller and Cornish enters for Bauer. Koenig will pass it into Radical. Pass tipped. And tipped out. And in the hands of Radical. Radical's going to push it. And going to go all the way in. And pass tipped. In the hands of Cornish. Cornish drives in. Going to pass it low to Koenig. Tipped and out of bounds off the Panthers. Radical pass it in down low. Get it in to Koenig. Koenig up top to Cornish. Cornish over to Radical. Sends it all the way back over to Koenig. Koenig over to Cornish. Cornish over to Radical. Radical over to Koenig. Koenig with a 3. And bounce off side of the rim. Too high for Radical and picked up by number 23 Johnson. Colson's going to send it over to Horstman. Horstman's going to drive in, put it up. And can't get his jumper to fall. Rebounded by Radical. Radical's going to push it. Pass over to Koenig. Going to pass down low to Koenig. He's stripped and picked up by Colson. Colson's going to push it. Going to pass over to Horstman. Puts it up and is blocked by Radical. Picked up by Gifford. Down low to Johnson. He puts it up and is fouled and 1. Good find and Johnson finishes, gets the foul, and a chance to extend the Panther lead to 10. Perman will enter for Brand. And Johnson will shoot his first and only. Miller will enter for Koenig. And Johnson's first and only will bounce out, picked up by Perman, puts it up, can't get it to fall, rebounded by Falkenberg. Radical's going to push up the floor. Going to send it over to Falkenberg. Falkenberg's going to drive in, puts it up, and it's got it. Cuts the lead back to 7. Gifford's got it. Going to pass over to Horstman. Over to Gifford, puts up a 3. And rolls off the rim. Picked up by Colson. He puts up a jumper. He is fouled. First off the front of the rim. And timeout by the Lancers. The score on the JV girls game is currently 20-11 with 9 minutes left in the second half. It is Levestrom ball. Score now currently 20-13 on the JV girls game. Lancers with a 7-point lead with 8:50 left. Here at Immanuel, Lancers currently trail by 7 with 7:17 left, 34-27. 2 free throws coming for Colson. And he will make his second. Salmon will enter for the Panthers. And Radical will take up the floor. Sends it over to Falkenberg. Falkenberg drives in. Forced pass back out to Radical. Sends it over to Miller. Gonna drive in. And jump ball. Radical passed in down low for the Lancers. Sends it up top to Keeney. Keeney over to Eichstead. Eichstead over to Miller. Miller up top to Falkenberg. Scanning. Gonna pass over to Miller. Miller picks up a jumper. Gets fouled. And Miller will shoot 2, trailing by 7. And he'll get that one to fall. Sorry, now they're trailing by 7. Cornish and Bauer will enter for Keeney and Eichstead. And Mayer will enter for Horstman. And his second will bounce out. Tipped up in the air and picked up by Perman. Stoltenberg will take up the floor. Gonna drive around. Send it down low and stolen by Falkenberg. He's gonna try to push it. Goes all the way, is fouled, and can't get the bucket to fall. Falkenberg will shoot 2, a chance to cut the lead to 5. And his first will bounce off the inside of the rim. Brand will enter for Perman. And Falkenberg will shoot his second. And he will get that one to fall. Cuts lead to 6, 35-29. Stoltenberg will take up the floor. Gonna drive around. Sends it over to Salmon. Over to Johnson. Johnson gonna drive up. Gonna go all the way in. And stripped. Picked up by Cornish. Over to Bauer. Bauer's gonna put it up. Take it up. Sends it over to Radical. Radical over to Falkenberg. Falkenberg gonna go in. Gonna pass over to Cornish. Cornish over to Radical. Radical drives in, puts up a jumper, and air balls. Picked up by Miller. Miller puts it up. His bounce is out. Picked up by Radical. He puts it up. His bounce is out, and picked up by Brand. Stoltenberg's got it. Gets the screen. Goes around, goes all the way in, and passes out to Johnson. Johnson will dribble it back out up top. Over to Brand, over to Stoltenberg. Stoltenberg dribbles back out up top. Tries to go in, get a pass out to Salmon. Up back to Stoltenberg. Sends it over to Johnson. Johnson looking for a 3. Can't get it, gonna pass it along to Brand. Up to Salmon. Salmon takes a 3. He's got it! And extends the lead to 9. And Radical's going to take up the floor. Sends it over to Cornish. Cornish going to drive all the way in. Gets stuffed and tipped out of bounds off the Panthers. Leduc will enter, as will Gifford and Colson for Johnson and Salmon. Radical passes in down low. Gets into Falkenberg to Miller. Pass up top to Cornish. Sends down low to Bauer. Bauer down low off a foot and picked up by Mayer. Pass over to Gifford. He puts up a three off the back of the rim. Picked up by Colson. Sends it out to Gifford again. He's going to pass out to Colson. Over to Stoltenberg. Back over to Gifford. Going to take it up top. Gets the screen. Sends over to Colson and stolen away by Miller. Miller's going to drive all the way in, put it up, and off the corner of the backboard. Picked up by Bauer. He's going to pass it out to Leduc. Leduc puts up a jumper. Just bounces out, tipped around, picked up by Radical. And foul. And Radical's going to shoot two. Nope, 1-1. Salmon and Gifford Winter. Sorry, Salmon and Perman. And Radical will make his first. That'll learn him another one. Chance cut the lead to 7. And second one will bounce off the back of the rim. And picked up by Stoltenberg. Stoltenberg going to drive around and get the screen. Sends it over to Salmon. Get the screen by Mayer. Going to drive in. Force cut back out. Pass over to Colson. Over to Perman. Sends over to Stoltenberg. Stoltenberg's got it up top. Get the screen. Gonna drive in, put up a jumper, and he's got it. Sends the lead to 10. Panthers pulling away. Lancers need a bucket here. Radical taking up the floor. Radical gets a screen. Pass over to Bauer. Bauer drives in. Gets stripped and off the Lancers and out of bounds. Falkenberg enters for Bauer. And going to pass into Stoltenberg. And he will take up the floor. Time ticking down from 3 minutes. Get the screen. Going to drive around. Sends it out to Salmon. He puts up a three. And rims out. Rebounded by Radical. Radical sends it over to Miller. Miller up top to Radical. Radical over to Leduc. Leduc fakes. And jump ball. And that's going to go with the Panthers. And Keeney will enter for Cornish. And we're going to pass into Stoltenberg. Stoltenberg going to drive around. All the way around. Pass over Salmon. Salmon going to drive around. Passes out to Colson. Colson a three. And rims out. Keeney's got it. Going to pass over to Radical. Time ticking close to 2 minutes. Lancers need something here. Radical drives around. And offensive foul. And we have a timeout by the Lancers. Over at Oliva Strum have not scored yet in the second half and are currently tied at 20 apiece. Just had a steal by Koenig. She is pushing up the floor. She puts it up and can't get it to fall. And that'll be tipped out of bounds. We'll be back with more when we return. And we are back. JV girls, nothing has changed since we last talked about it. 20-20 still with only 3:16 left. Here in this game, Lancers currently trail by 10, 40-30 with 2 minutes left. Panther ball, Stoltenberg's got it. Gets a couple of screens. Still up top, double teamed. Pass over Salmon, back up top Stoltenberg. Panthers wasting time, gonna pass over Salmon. Up top Stoltenberg, stolen by Radical. He's gonna push the floor, got help coming, and he's got the layup. Cuts the lead down to 8 with 1:30 left. And another timeout by the Lancers. 40-32, still an 8-point lead for the Lancers. Over in the girls JV game, it is still 20-20 with 3:03 left in the second half. Currently Lancers ball. Still 20-20 in that JV game with 2:50 left. A Leverstrom ball. Here at Immanuel, Panthers still up by 8, 40-32. Pass over to Colson, 1:30 left. Back over to Stoltenberg. Fakes over to Colson, gonna pass over to Burnham. Berman driving around. Pass back up to Stoltenberg. Radical on the floor. Colson's got it. Radical's back and a pass over to Stoltenberg. Stoltenberg looking. Forced to back up, and pass over to Colson. Colson gonna send it on, picked up by Miller. Miller's gonna try to push it, and forced to cut back out. Time under a minute now. Lancers need to go hurry up. And Keeney's looking around. Still looking, gonna pass over to Radical. Radical gonna drive around. Sends it over to Keeney. Keeney fakes, gonna drive around. Pass up to Radical. Time under 35 seconds now. Leduc's got it. Gonna pass over to Keeney. Keeney puts up a 3. And air balls. And it cannot be saved. Lancers needed a bucket badly there. Now trail by 8 with 30 seconds left. Pass over to Colson, and he will take it up the floor. Sends it over to Stoltenberg. Stoltenberg over to Colson. Colson gonna drive around, sends it over to Stoltenberg. Stoltenberg down low to Johnson. Pass tipped, and out of bounds off Falkenberg. It's gonna be Panther ball with 14.8 seconds left and an 8-point lead. Stoltenberg gonna pass it in down low. Scanning. Sends it up top, and fouled. That'll be against Johnson, and he will not shoot. Gonna pass it again. All it did was waste a second for the Panthers. Stoltenberg passing it in down low. Sends it up top to Johnson. Fakes. Time ticking down, now into 10 seconds. Sends it over to Mayer. Mayer up top, tipped, and stolen by Keeney. Pass over to Radical. 3, 2, 1, and Radical gets the layup, and time will expire. Makes the feed a little more bearable. Only lost by 6, 40-34. The boys C-team game lost 61-27. This one by only a margin of 6, 40-34. Currently in the girls JV game. They have yet to score in the second half. Now with 2 minutes left, trailed by 2, 22-20. That can be found on the Leva Strum website. Just go to YouTube, look up the Leva Strum, and it should be right there. The varsity game will be live streamed in a moment to stream the band, and playtime should start in about 20 minutes. Hope to see you.